Donovan Shouse, UHSUnews reporting. Would you like to comment on the hearings?
Yes, just that it was absolutely frivolous and held no bar, no meaning in particular, and I can't wait for the hearing.
So the temporary restraining order was issued or served to you by an UHSA volunteer, Brian Lebeda, and this was the first hearing on the matters. And what did you learn from these hearings? How do you feel about the future?
Well, I learned that the judge was very, very respectful and stuck to the law, and I have my constitutional rights to back me up. I was enacting on my freedom of press and recording the entire UHSA meeting, not this one person in particular, and the judge had seen that, and he had mentioned it, and I feel that I am within my constitutional rights to continue forward and record every UHSA public meeting.
And there was some restraining order that was maintained where you don't contact him directly. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like that's appropriate?
I still feel it's inappropriate, and I had checked with the judge to make sure that it does not impinge on my ability to record at any of the public meetings, and it does not. That being said, I still feel it is it has absolutely no grounds, and that this just was taken too far, and it didn't need to go this far. I'm a reporter. It's absolutely frivolous and ridiculous.
Have there been other instances of frivolous complaints filed against you or the organization you work with?
Yes, actually, two other members of the United Way Student Union that I'm involved with, Ryan Kakuza and Jennifer Ruggles, both had student conduct codes violations filed against them, and they were both dismissed. And yeah.
Why is it you think students, UHSA members, are insistent on filing complaints, filing TROs, filing student conduct code complaints against UHSU for recording? It seems like they've been notified on a number of occasions that recording is fine and legal. Why is it, do you think, they insist on maintaining that it is inappropriate to the extent they're willing to spend the time and the energy of the judiciary to hear these matters even though it's been deemed frivolous? Lazarus Sai, would you like to comment for UHSUnews? Brian Lebeda, would you like to comment for UHSUnews?
To respond to your question, as I mentioned in the assessment, the Dean of Students, Kelly Oakes herself, had said in the meetings that they were all publicly open and were allowed to be recorded.
I noticed Brian Lebeda mentioned that Kelly Oakes had told him that the meeting wasn't
yes,
open?
I can't comment on that so much because I do not know. All I know is that we have a recording of her saying that we were allowed to record in these public hearings and or these public meetings. And I believe one of the main reasons as to why they're hesitant on recordings taking place in these hearings is due to certain decisions they have made in the past that they wish to not be reflected upon and shared with the world and the campus itself more specifically.
Such as what?
Such as a senator was removed from office unjustly, and I feel like they would not want that to be released to the public, that information. And after that incident of removing the senator from office is when they had started putting up signs telling people that they were not allowed to record at any public meetings right after that. And previously I have recorded at all the public meetings and they had never put up signs previously.
So you think potentially they're trying to cover wrongdoings?
Yes, I do.
And surely UHSA falls under some supervision, some university supervision, like an advisor or an administrator. Do you know who that is and why they aren't correcting the situation and allow recording to take place, why they're discouraging recording?
Well, to the best of my knowledge, Ellen Cusano was the previous acting advisor to UHSA, And I'm not currently aware whether or not she is now. I know that someone had stepped down as the advisor, but at the time of all these meetings taking place, she was the current advisor, she had not voiced her opinion on the matter and whether or not it was allowed to be recorded. She stayed quiet, and yeah.
So when is your next hearing set?
I have it written down. Let's see. January. The next hearing is set for January 20th, 9:30 a.m. Yes.
Nice. And how do you feel about that, the hearing?
You know, I'm excited to release the truth, and that's what I'm here to do. And I feel sorry for the court's time to have been wasted, and for the public's time to have been wasted, and for my time to have been wasted. I had to take time off of work to come here. And I lost work time because of that, and I feel sorry that it had to ever come to this.
What outcome would you like to see from all of this?
I would like to see truth and justice upheld, and I myself am an aspiring investigative reporter, and I would prefer for truth in the law to stay enacted, and for these issues to not have these issues brought to a court and the judge's time be wasted.
And moving forward for UHSA, the Student Association?
Moving forward for UHSA, the Student Association, I wish that they would take down their signs that prohibit people from recording in their hearings, as it discourages, I believe, students from being there in general and recording. And it tells them that they are not allowed to record and they are not allowed to speak the truth. And I wish that they would take down those signs and that they would encourage students to take part in their hearings and encourage public recordings, as all students and all members of the public have a right to know what happens at their schools and at their student governments.
Thanks, Donovan Shouse.
Thank you very much.